Good afternoon. St. Charles County, land of cornfields, pickup trucks, and gun racks. Right? Wrong. St. Charles County is about velocity, and that's the theme of our presentation this afternoon. Keith and I are going to share some surprising information about the real estate markets in St. Charles County. Briefly, we're going to touch on demographics and major infrastructure projects. We're going to give market overviews of the office, industrial, and retail segments. And during each of those segments, we'll share what we see for 2008 going forward. First, population growth. The term velocity certainly applies here. From the year 1950 to the year 2000, the population growth of St. Charles grew by an astounding 853%. It stands at about 350,000 people today, and it's projected to grow to over 450,000 people by the year 2020. Put into perspective, that's roughly half the current population of St. Louis County today. What have the drivers been for this growth? Well, there's been an abundance of reasonably priced ground suitable for residential development. That's been accompanied by an effective expansion of water, sewer, and other utility systems, as well as a constantly improving transportation network. Some of those transportation improvements include Highway 370 on the north side. That recently celebrated its 10-year anniversary. In the middle of the county is the Page Extension, also known as Highway 364. Phase 1 of that project was completed 2 years ago, and work is beginning on Phase 2. And when it's completed, it will cut through the heart of St. Charles County out to Highway 4061 on the west side. And on the south side of the county is Interstate 64, which is now interstate status all the way out to Lake St. Louis, and within 2 years will be extended to Interstate 70 on the north side. Keith?
Thanks, Mike. Now let's take a look inside of the St. Charles office market. Well, prior to the last few years, I think most people would agree that St. Charles County didn't really appear on anyone's radar screen as a viable option for Class A office. But as a result of several factors that I'll be sharing with you over the next few minutes, you'll see why St. Charles Class A inventory increased 15-fold over the last 10 years, and why we believe this is only the beginning. To put things in perspective, with approximately 4 million square feet of total space, St. Charles inventory accounts for only 8% of the total metro market. Yet, since 2000, St. Charles has outperformed the rest of the St. Louis metro area in 2 key categories. The first category is net absorption. In the time period from 2000 to 2007, St. Charles absorbed more office space than all of St. Louis City and County combined. Let me repeat that. In the last 8 years, St. Charles absorbed more space than the rest of the entire metro area. I think that's amazing. And secondly, vacancy rates in St. Charles have been lower than that of the metro region for each of the last 5 years, ending 2007 with a record low 8% vacancy, pushing rents north of $23 a foot. The demand for large blocks of contiguous space moved west along the I-64 corridor into St. Charles, making this the most dynamic office area in the county. It's really just considered an extension of West County. But the factors that include available land, reasonable land prices, and a skilled and abundant labor pool helped lure these large office campus users, including MasterCard, Citi Mortgage, and WorldCom, which is now Verizon. These major build-to-suit successes were the drivers behind the high absorption numbers and the low vacancy rates, but more importantly, it helped to enhance the credibility of St. Charles as a player in the St. Louis metro market. So you may be thinking, what's the net effect of all these factors? The answer is speculative construction. New spec office construction starts will reach unprecedented levels in 2008 with over 300,000 square feet of new Class A buildings. In addition to the 120,000 square foot Progress Point Center that Scott mentioned earlier, Balke Brown announced plans that it will start construction in May of this year on its 132,000 square foot West Highland, which will be built adjacent to the Verizon campus in Weldon Spring. So essentially, what we've seen over the last few years was the first wave, which were the large build-to-suits, and that's fueled the second wave, which is speculative construction. Given all this momentum and the significant growth we're seeing, we expect St. Charles will continue to gain prominence as a viable office alternative in the suburban markets in St. Louis.
Let's explore the industrial market in St. Charles. First, to give you an idea of its size, it consists of about 24 million square feet of product. That represents about 10% of the installed base of the overall metropolitan area. Despite this percentage, the term velocity can be applied to several aspects of the St. Charles industrial base. First, a third of our inventory has been constructed in the last 10 years, equating to about 8 million square feet. The same 8 million square feet represents 25% of the new product that's been delivered in the entire metropolitan area over the last 10 years. And that includes the large regional distribution hubs that have been built in southern Illinois. Equally as compelling is our vacancy rate. This chart shows vacancy in St. Louis County in the red, vacancy in St. Charles County in the white over the last 10 years. 7 of the last 10 years, the vacancy rate has been lower in St. Charles County versus St. Louis County, ending 2007 at 3.2%. You would think that that would fuel speculative construction. In fact, that's not the case. Only one building, a 40,000 square foot office warehouse building, being developed by Shockley in Fountain Lakes Commerce Center, is sure to be developed in 2008. The reason for the lack of speculative construction is the lack of industrial ground that we have available to build on. It's critical that St. Charles County and Gundeker Development and Duke Realty get Premier 370 off the ground. When they get their FEMA issues resolved, this business park, located near the intersection of 370 and I-70, is going to unlock about 800 acres of new ground for development. But we believe even with the opening of Premier 370, there's a need for more ground for industrial development. And our belief is as Interstate 64 is completed and connects with Interstate 70, that somewhere west or north of Wentzville is a logical place for this to occur.
And what about retail in the St. Charles market? The phenomenal residential growth that Mike touched on earlier has created a demand for retail, as well as several retail hotspots, including the Highway K corridor in O'Fallon, Highway N and 64, as well as Wentzville Parkway, further west on 70, just to name a few. But the trend we've seen is away from the smaller retail centers toward the higher-end lifestyle and larger mixed-use centers. I'll give you an example of each. Construction started in 2007 on the Meadows in Lake St. Louis, developed by Davis Street Land Company, which will open this fall. Each of the 2 phases consists of 250,000 square feet of high-end lifestyle center retail. One of the reasons that Davis Street selected this location is because average household incomes in the area exceeds $100,000, making it one of the wealthiest areas in the entire state of Missouri. And second, site work is underway on the large mixed-use project named the Streets of St. Charles at Noah's Ark, being developed by Cullinan Properties. This incredible $350 million project is approved by the city of St. Charles to include structures up to 30 stories. And if it's developed in that format, it's going to change the skyline in what is widely considered the front door to St. Charles. So essentially, 2008, we see a continued soft landing in the retail market. Until residential growth resumes to the pre-2007 levels, retail construction will be limited to only a few high-quality developments in the most prime locations.
St. Charles County, accelerated growth, opportunities for businesses and developers, and velocity. Thank you.